I think COVID has really expedited a lot of the technology and really forced sellers to adapt new processes and diversify their businesses. For better or for worse, I think that sellers were heavily reliant on kind of the easiest way to operate their businesses, whether it was sourcing from a specific region, shipping out of certain bigger warehouses, and then just selling their products into one or two different marketplaces. The trends that I've really seen is that sellers are diversifying not only their own supply chain, the way that they're operating their businesses, but then the avenues and marketplaces which they're shipping into as well. Through that, I think that this has really been a wake up call for a lot of sellers and a lot of my colleagues as well too, to understand and think kind of bigger picture of how can we connect everyone globally, and how can we help sellers navigate through these tough times. Talking about acceleration, I think the stat that I've seen floating around a lot is that in the past 3 months, e-commerce has grown more than it has in the past 10 years. And I view that as e-commerce is just filling the shoes that we've been wearing for the longest time. Everyone is really caught up. The infrastructure is caught up, and it's just ripe for the taking right now if you're an Amazon seller or an e-commerce seller for that matter. So in the past 3 months, what we've really seen is that e-commerce has done more volume in the last 3 months than it has in the previous 10 years. And just that growth is really exciting. Everything that I've seen and I've read, I feel like sellers and e-commerce is really just catching up and filling the shoes of that infrastructure that we've been wearing has been previously built for the last 10 years.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. And that's exactly what we've been seeing with our clients and just from people reaching out to us. All these sellers and retailers and stores are in a rush to get online because they weren't there before. They were primarily focused on brick and mortar, and everyone's shopping online now. And it really accelerated a lot of the trends in e-commerce. I think that's what we're seeing today.
Yeah, so I think at this point, diversification and expanding multi-channel is huge. Amazon is obviously dominant within the space, and they control a lot of the e-commerce space with their global reach and the marketplaces they're expanding into all the time, operating in new marketplaces and opening up. As we saw recently with Saudi Arabia, and we see Australia growing a lot. But I think really Walmart and Walmart.com are making a huge push within the space as well. I think that's going to be a next channel that, that sellers and e-commerce sellers really jump on here in the future.
Yeah, I agree. That's that's the other big channel that we push sellers to. But there's lots of examples of other channels being more popular in foreign countries. I mean, you can look back to eBay's presence in China and how terribly they failed there, and how there's other platforms for clothing, apparel in Europe that are doing better than e-commerce channels. So really expanding to different channels is the way that you're going to give your business the best opportunity to grow, I think. And I really agree with that.
Yeah, and again, finding that right fit for your business. Not all of our sellers are selling in that one marketplace, that one niche. You'd be surprised, and I'm sure you can add this into, Mike, that sellers might find that their one product just hits really well in a certain country, and for whatever reason doesn't another. And it may be that country that they don't expect, or that niche, that vertical, and they'll find a lot of success selling.
Yeah, you see that all the time. It's very common on Amazon, especially. Just less competition, the way things are written, the way things are changed between languages. Sometimes things just pop, and then all of a sudden your sales take off. So you could be missing a great opportunity if you're not getting onto these other platforms as an e-commerce seller.
With that, Mike, I just want to say thanks. I think we had a great talk, and I appreciate it.
If any of the listeners want to learn more about Payoneer or about dealing with these types of international monetary issues, what resources does Payoneer have for
them? They can go to Payoneer.com to learn a lot more. They can email me, which I know we included here in the video as well, or Mike, they can reach out to you, and we'd love to help any customers or any sellers who are looking to go beyond.